back here at the Long Valley, which is the Vallelunga circuit north of the Italian capital. Well, if you thought the championship could not get any closer, well, Ugo Ugochukwu took victory in race 1 this morning. The gap, listen to this, it is just 11 points. Great to have your company here for race 2, the penultimate race of the weekend, the penultimate race of the 2023 championships. As you look at the cars lined up in pit lane, 34 cars on the grid. Let's take a look at what happened this morning and why the championship is so close. Ugo Ugochukwu taking victory in race 1. This is how he did it. Casper on pole position. Ugo from grid 3, the second row of the grid, the American going wheel to wheel with the pole as they race down through Cordovone for the first time. Casper still got not a bad start for the pole, who starts from pole position also for race 2 here this afternoon. But Ugo fired it down the inside and would go on to take the lead. He would not be headed. Tuukka Tappinen fighting there as the Prema driver. In the background looked to be Alex Powell. Did continue on without a problem. Arvid Lindblad, the Red Bull Junior, just avoiding the carnage between Akshay Bora and Brando Badoer, who did recover to finish in P8 with the fastest lap of the race. Ugo Ugochukwu pulled the gap out to 1.5 seconds. Tuukka Tappinen, his teammate, could not make headway on him. Would finish in P2. It was a remarkably sedate race. Not a bad thing there was no safety car introduction. Ugo absolutely perfect. Casper Stuka in position 3, half 37, and his perfect streak of 6 victories in a row came to an end this morning. He would finish on the podium, closed up on Tuukka Tappinen. Particularly good under brakes, Tuukka Tappinen as well. So close to another victory. Brando Badoer, no problem from that clash earlier on with Bora, whose front wing was left abandoned on the outside of Tornantino throughout the race, going up the inside of Nicola Lacorte. But out front, Ugo Ugochukwu took his 3rd victory of the season. Tappinen 2nd, Stuka 3rd. The gap is just 11 points between this driver, the McLaren Junior. Yeah, we had to replay that for you, celebrating with his Italian team in beautiful Italian language. Fortunately, 99% of you did not understand what he said as he got out of the car. Congratulated there by Emanuele Pirro in the yellow McLaren shirt, the McLaren Junior driver taking victory. There is just 11 points in the championship, which looks like these Caspers took a 273 points. Arvid Lindblad, P6 this morning behind James Wharton. Arvid 263.5, just 1.5 points ahead of Ugo on 262. So 273 versus 262 to Ugo in 3rd place. So 11 points between the top 3 drivers. This is the closest championship fight we have had in the 10-year history. You can see the cars just coming onto the grid now. We'll try and speak to a couple of them. Arvid Lindblad, P6 this morning, 2nd in the championship, has already wrapped up the rookie trophy. As we look at Il Siciliano, Alfio spinner coming out onto the circuit just ahead of Tina Hausmann. Guido Lucchetti, who was into the grass this morning. There is the Tuscan driver for Airflow Racing, Pensati Racing. Brando Badoer, lucky to avoid damage, came home in P8 with the fastest lap of the race. The VAR cars are quick, and Brando will start from the outside 2nd row of the grid. There's the Sicilian Alfio spinner, the sole entry for BVM Racing. As they go up into Campagnano corner, the circuit which has got longer and longer over the past half century. Originally started life as a hippodrome or a horse racing circuit, a gravel horse racing track, would you believe? A trotting circuit back just after the end of World War II. This is Tina Hausmann, the Swiss driver, who can wrap up the Women's Championship. The Women's Trophy, it's probably been the most competitive we've had in the past few years. Just the 4 drivers racing in it, but it has been tough throughout. This is Brando. Victoria Blochina came into the lead, came into the final round of the Women's Championship. First, let's go down and hear from one of 2 drivers from China, Ricky Liu, who's with Laura Cola.
Yeah, a good race for you this morning. So what can we expect from this 2nd race?
Yeah, just improve where I did bad in 1st race and try to do my best in this run. Yeah, I tried to get a position, that's it.
Thank you.
Ricky Liu, one of two Chinese drivers, just speaking to Laura Kohler there. Car 66 for US Racing. Just quickly getting back to the Women's Trophy, that was Tina Hausmann in car 21. She can wrap up the Women's Trophy if she finishes ahead of Victoria Blochina for PHM Racing. Victoria came into the final round, 283 points in the Women's Trophy, 274 for Tina, 215 for Aurelia Nobels, who can't take the Women's Trophy. Bianca Bustamante, the Filipino driver racing in the F1 Academy Series in 2023, the other driver in the Women's Trophy. If Tina finishes ahead of Victoria, regardless of where they finish, she will wrap up the championship. So let's go and hear from the Swiss driver now. This is Tina Hausmann.
Tina was put to Aurelia this morning, but now have a chance to win the women trophy for 2023.
Yeah, exactly. We have the chance to win it, and I feel confident to be on top. And yeah, we just have to stay calm and not think too much about it.
Good luck.
Tina Hausmann can wrap up the Women's Trophy here, just speaking to Laura Kohler, if she finishes ahead of Victoria Blochina. So the cars, the 34 of them out on the circuit. There is Kasper Stuka to the bottom left of your screen. We'll start on pole position again, and he will for race 3 tomorrow. The championship is on the line. There is just 11 points between the drivers fighting for the championship. But let's hear from one of the rookies, the German. This is Finn Webelhaus.
So Finn, welcome to the Italian Formula 4. So what are you hoping for now in race 2?
I hope for a clean race, to gain some good positions and have fun, yeah.
Thank you.
Finn Webelhaus on debut in the Italian Championship. One of just about all of these drivers who we have seen race in WSK World Karting over the years. Starting for the Gensa Motorsport team, his teammate Ariel Elkan from Haifa in Israel with a stunning drive this morning. Ariel coming home in position 7. We'll take a look at the grid for you in its entirety in just a moment. Just getting back again to the title fight. We cannot emphasize this enough. It is so close. 11 points between Kasper, Arvid and Ugo, who are fighting for the championship. This is race 2 of 3 here, the final round this weekend, the 10th anniversary season of the world's most competitive junior motor racing series. Let's go and hear from the Tuscan driver, David Larini, who's also speaking to Laura Kohler.
So you did very good this morning, so what can we expect for now?
So now my goal is to reach much position as I can. Yeah, now head down and focus.
Thank you.
One of 3 drivers from Tuscany in the field, Davide Larini, whose father Nicola finished on the podium on the 1st of May for Ferrari back in that ill-fated San Marino Formula 1 Grand Prix back in 1994 before going on to race DTM. Also had a stint with Sauber in Formula 1. Nicola Larini, that is his son, David Larini, one of quite a few drivers in the field whose father had experience racing in Formula 1 Grand Prix, including Brando Badoea, who there he is, starts out of grid 4, but it is the pole-on-pole Kasper Stuka, Tuka Tappinen P2 this morning and P2 on the grid. Ugo, car 3, grid 3, he won the race this morning from that same grid position. Brando Badoea, car 15 for the Dutch Van Amersfoort racing team. It's the Jamaican sensation, Alex Powell. What a performance for the kid from the Caribbean alongside Fast Freddy Jack Beaton. His best qualifying performance of the year in car 7 alongside Zachary David. James Wharton, James Agozzi, James and James again on the 5th row of the grid. Akshay Bora, Arvid Lindblad second in the championship, but starting out of grid 12. Matteo Quintarelli, Ariel Elkan with that storming drive this morning. Nicola Lacorte, Rashid Albaheri. Starting out of grid 16 is the Emirati. Then we go to Rafael Nadak, Matias Ferreira, Gianmarco Predel on the podium at Mugello, but back on grid 19 alongside the Sicilian Alfio Spinner in car 9 for BVM Racing. David Larini, who spoke to Lauda just a few moments ago, Aurelia Nobels, Kabir Anurag and Finn Webelhaus, the rookie, the German. Grid 24 in this 34-car field, 61 for Gensa Motorsport. We go to Ricky Liu, Tina Hausmann, who can win the Women's Trophy here this afternoon. Shimo Zhang, another rookie, also with Gensa Motorsport. Giacomo Pedrini, another second-generation racer, son of Andrea, former Porsche Carrera Cup racer. From Sydney, Kamal Murad, Victoria Blochina, Tom Callender, another impressive rookie is the German for the German team, PHM Racing. Guido Lucchetti, Diego Della Torre, and Ethan Isha, car 27, starts out of grid 34 for Andrea and Esther Jenser Motorsport team. So the mechanics leave the grid here, just a few moments away from the start. 34 cars on the grid. There is Andreas Jenser walking back to watch and see which of his drivers can make it up into the top 10. Remember, the Swiss team won the title in 2016 with the Argentine Marcus Siebert. The 30-second board goes up before the formation lap. Welcome to the eternal city of Rome. This is at Vallelunga. This is the penultimate race of the 2023 Italian Formula 4 Championship, presented by WSK Promotion together with Acci Sport. Problem for the drivers getting away on the formation lap. There is Arvid out of grid 12 for the Londoner. The sun's starting to set. We are now into autumn time in the Northern Hemisphere. There's James Agozzi going through, starting alongside James Wharton. We'll see what car 31, Akshay Bora, can do. A clash this morning with Brando Badoer. Here's the Jamaican going through. Alex Powell, Kabir Anurag, slow to get off the grid. But now the Singaporean for the US racing team is underway. Started 2023, racing KZ2 for Kart Republic in the WSK Supermaster Series. A beautiful autumnal afternoon here. No chance of rain here for the moment. Tomorrow, well, maybe another story. The shadows are getting longer. Great performance from Alex Powell. There is the Jamaican going through, just ahead of Fast Freddy. They have gone wheel to wheel over the past half decade. The kid from the Caribbean versus the driver from the British Midlands. Both race winners in WSK karting, from 60 Mini to OK Junior and to OK, and also in KZ2. So there is the all-important point score. Disregard James Wharton. It is between Casper, Arvid, and Ugol. There is just 11 points between those three drivers. Formula One point scoring system, so that's 25 points for a win. 11 points between the top three, and 50 on offer as James Agozzi lights up the rears at the exit of the slowest corner on the calendar. Kasper Stuka from pole position. Ugol launched off the line like a rocket in race one. He won the race effectively at the start. They go through Curva Roma, or the Roman curve. 34 cars. Kasper, his penultimate Formula 4 race weekend. Of course, don't forget the third final round of the Euro 4 Championship next week at Barcelona in Spain. But this, the 10th season of the Italian F4 Championship, presented by WSK Promotion since its inception, since the Canadian Lance Stroll won back in 2014, together with Acci Sport. What a tremendous sight. As Ethan Isha, there's Diego Della Torre. There is the PHM team. Team manager, Michaela Leschen, former IndyCar pole sitter at... Sorry, Michaela, I can't remember. I reckon it might have been at Pocono back in 2017, 2018. Now doing a superb job with the German team as Kasper lines up on pole position. Welcome to the eternal city of Rome. Welcome to the penultimate race of the 2023 Italian Championship. Matias Ferreira down in pit lane with a problem. So the Brazilian from pit lane will start from there if he's lucky. The green flag at the back of the grid, the 5 red lights for the penultimate time in 2023. We race another superstar from Ugol, who's already got the better of his teammate Tuukka Tappinen, and now tries to take the lead away from Kasper Stuka, exactly as he did in race 1. Kasper's got the lead though as they go down the hill for the first time. There's Avashid Alvahedi on the outside. Kasper Stuka from pole position covers his line going into Chimney 1. The pole takes the lead. Ugol and Tuukka go side by side. There's carnage at the exit of Chimney 1. Arvid Lindblad's involved. Arvid with damage. Oh, they're scattered into the gravel trap. This is costly. There's Tina Hausmann as well. She won't win the women's trophy here this afternoon. She's out with a damaged AKM Motorsport car, waiting for word from race control. There is Tina. Inevitably, the safety car will come out onto the circuit. For the moment, we still race green. It is Casper in position 1. Tuka goes second place. Brando up the inside. Tina is out of her car. We still wait for word from race control, trying to keep it green. It won't happen though. There's Kabir Anurag, the Singaporean, buried in the gravel. And now finally, when there was no choice, our race director, Mr. Alessandro Ferrari, deploys the safety car out onto the circuit. And we've also lost Akshay Bora. Wow, a sensational start here this afternoon after the most sedate race we have had in race 1 earlier this morning. They're parked in the gravel. Also is Shimo Zhang, and that is Guido Luchetti. Akshay is out. Boy, what a start to race 2 here this afternoon. Finn Babelhaus also involved. Fajera still down in pit lane. There's one of the RA's GP cars, Casper Stuga. How critical was that for the pole to hold on to the race lead? From Tuka Taparan, Brando with a superb pass, the Italian up into P3 and Ugo back into P4. What about the Queenslander? Jack on the attack, beaten into P5. His best qualifying performance of 2023 for Van Amersfoort Racing. Rookie season for the Australian. His mentor, Adam Gotch, flying over from, actually coming directly from America, where he raced or oversaw in the American US Formula 4 Championship to see his young protege. Jack on the attack, beaten up into position 5 as they go through the carnage to the left of your screen. Tina Hausmann, Kabir Anurag, Luchetti is out, Diego Della Torre is out, Tom Callender, also the highly rated rookie, Shimo Zhang, Matias Ferreira has got going from the exit of pit lane, so the Brazilian is still circulating. It may have been a blessing in disguise because he has avoided the carnage, which occurred right like this. There's Border going on through. There's Tina with nowhere to go. Shimo Zhang. Tom Callender, the rookie, the German, for the German team, parked in the gravel. It doesn't look as though he's got much damage. Out front, Casper Stuga takes the lead away, not from Ugo, but from Tuka Tapanen. It all kicked off in the background. There's Arvid Lindblad in the grass. Now, where is the Brit? He started out of grid 12 as Shimo Zhang is turned left, then he's straightened back up by a damaged and driverless car 21. Tina with broken steering had nowhere to go but into the side of the second Chinese driver. The red flag has now been shown. Just getting back to Arvid Lindblad, position 14. That may all prove to be irrelevant because the red flag has been shown. The PHM team, they've got an enormous amount of work to do. We will go back to the end of lap 1, we believe, under the control of our race director, Alessandro Ferrari. There's James Agozzi going through. No choice but to show the red flag with an incident involving Shimo Zhang, Akshay Bora, Finn Babelhaus, Tina Hausmann, Kabir Anurag, the young German rookie Tom Callender, Diego Della Torre, and also Guido Luchetti. Just trying to pick up which was the Van Amersfoort Racing car involved in that first lap skirmish. It wasn't beaten because he's gone through into P5. James Wharton has dropped way down to 22nd place. We believe it was Freddie Slater, who is still circulating, in fact driving into pit lane now, the former World Kart Racing champion for Ricky Flynn Motorsport in car 77 for VAR. Got going again, but he's down in 24th place. There's Gerhard Unger walking down pit lane. No doubt nervous, although the German would never show it. His driver is still in position 1. Highly respected, immensely experienced, former head of the Mercedes AMG DTM program back in the heydays of DTM. but he has lost one of his star drivers. There's Marco Pradel. That is Arvid Lindblad. Position 14 when the red flag was flown. Just ahead of Alfio spinner Aurelia Nobel. She made a great start. She was up into position 16. Came charging through the field. We'll take a look again at what happened. Kasper Stuka had the race lead. Down the inside, Freddie Slater. It may have been, and this is just speculative, it may have been, in fact I won't say it, it was a red car, we'll say that. Arvid Lindblad going on through. Tommy Callender in the gravel, as was Kabir Anurag. Tina Hausmann had no steering at that point, and Shimo Zhang, one of two Chinese drivers, the rookie, with nowhere to go. So it was Freddie Slater making contact with one of the Prema cars, absolutely scattering. It looks as though Ethan Isher going through the gravel. That's Shimo Zhang out, and there's Tina Hausmann with quite a damaged AKM Motorsport car. Looking to take the women's trophy. She only needed, or only does still need, to finish ahead of Victoria Blochina to take out the women's title. Victoria, she made a great start. She's up into 18th place trying to keep the women's trophy alive. Kabir Anurag, the team here at Vallelunga go to work. Tom Callender, multiple podiums in the DKM Championship, raced with us for quite a few seasons with Kart Republic. There's the crowd here at Rome in WSK World Karting, as did this driver, Kasper Stuka, initially with the Speed Kart team, driving, I think off memory, it was a Cosmic Kart, and then the later days of his karting career with the Ward Racing Tony Kart team. The visor goes up on the Stilo helmet. There is Guido Lucchetti's Airflow 63 car. Not too much damage to it from this vantage point. Unlikely he'll be able to take the restart. Still waiting for word from race control. It is a red flag situation. Officially, our timing screen is showing 25 minutes plus 1 lap, and we believe it will be a full restart. But that is provisional. We'll try and confirm that with you in a moment. Tuukka Tappinen, who got the better start ahead of his teammate. There is Brando, whose father Luca raced here in Formula 3 back in 1991. I reckon Luca also raced Formula 3000 here back in 1992 when this circuit did host a round of that spectacular International Formula 3000 Championship. Driving a Reynard 92D, arguably, well, I'll be biased in my opinion, the most beautiful racing car ever. Back when Vallelunga was on the international calendar as far as Formula 2 was concerned, or Formula 3000 as it was then known. Certainly did race here in Formula 3 back 3 decades ago. Good start from Brundle. There's Tom Callender's car. The crack team here at Vallelunga go to work, and we should be underway with a restart in just a moment. We believe it is a 25-minute plus 1 lap full restart. We are trying to get word with our race director, Mr. Alessandro Ferrari, who had no choice but to throw the red flag with the track blocked. The good news out of all this, as Tom Callender's car comes back down to earth, is that all the drivers are fine. It did happen at relatively low speed. Not only did the gravel do its job with regard to that dreaded curse term, track limits. That's not an issue. The drivers certainly know where the limit of the circuit is, but certainly in a safety respect, all the drivers are fine. This is Akshay Bora, but let's go and head down and hear from the race director, Mr. Alessandro Ferrari, who's with Laura Cola.
Adesso rifaremo la griglia originale, naturalmente senza i piloti che sono rimasti coinvolti nell'incidente. Ripartiremo con una distanza ridotta di 5 minuti dal tempo originale con i piloti con la griglia originale. Quindi griglia originale senza i piloti fermi e ripartiremo dietro safety car.
Grazie.
So let's just recap what our race director, Alessandro Ferrari, said. It will be a reduced race distance, first of all. as Guido Lucchetti's car is dragged out of harm's way. Down to 25 minutes plus 1 lap. It will be the original grid order. There is Shimo Zhang with the Chinese flag on his right shoulder. The original grid, obviously, as Alessandro was saying, without the drivers who won't take part, including this driver, Shimo. On debut in the Italian Championship, one of 2 Chinese drivers. And it's back to the pits. In the passenger seat of an Iveco, there is Akshay Bora with a good run. Multiple podiums throughout 2023. So the drivers who were involved in that won't make the restart. It is a full restart with the original grid. Akshay absolutely distraught. The Mexican Diego De La Torre will also be out for the restart. So 25 minutes plus 1 lap in just a few moments. All the drivers are fine. Alessandro Ferrari, a racing career which dates back to the late 1970s. As you look at Ariel Elkin, a stunning drive to 7th this morning. The driver from, well, look at his helmet, you know exactly where. More specifically from the city of Haifa, P7 this morning. Yes, our race director, Mr. Alessandro Ferrari, over, some 1,200 races in his career as race director, technical director. His brother also running an IndyCar team back in the late 1990s. Alessandro spending a couple of seasons over on the other side of the Atlantic as technical director for his brother's Euro International IndyCar team. Good news for Matias Ferreira. He will take the restart. Wow, was the Brazilian saved. And it looks as though, forgive the cliche, we need to send an Uber out to pick up these drivers on the circuit. There is Guido Luchetti. Isn't that sporting of him to make way? In the back of the Maserati. Here at Vallelunga, please put your seatbelt on. I don't mean that from a safety aspect, but if that, I'm sure it's ringing, it's buzzing right now. Yeah, the seatbelt warning light, you can hear it beeping from here inside your brain. Such is the situation with modern cars. So Guido Luchetti looking for a cab back to pit lane, the Tuscan driver, 63 for the Airflow Racing team. Tina to the right. So Finn Wabelhaus, looked as though, might be mistaken there, couldn't quite see. And there's Guido to the bottom right of your screen. Tina looking to wrap up the women's trophy. She won't do that here this afternoon. She will miss the restart, which will be 25 minutes plus 1 lap. There's the crowd here at Vallelunga. Part of this penultimate Acci racing weekend for 2023. Also the Italian GT3 Championship. Finn and Tina, the German-speaking drivers. Finn and Tina from Zurich in Switzerland. Nice to see her being able to smile. She'll have another chance tomorrow morning to wrap up the women's trophy. Not even a golf cart. Here's the Land Rover to pick out Finn and Tina. Let's hope they don't forget Guido Luchetti, who's still stranded out on the circuit and won't take part in the restart. Another look at what happened. Kasper Stuka critically with the lead. There is Slater down the inside. Brando going on through just ahead. It looks as though it may have been James Wharton with nowhere to go. Turned around was Freddie Slater. Arvid in the grass, but still with a straight car. Slater did recover, got through as the carnage erupted on his left. Slater came across the line in P22. Kabir Anurag into the gravel backwards. Tina into the side of Shimol. There to the bottom left of your screen. The Red Bull car escapes damage seemingly. Tom Callender into the gravel. There's Guido Luchetti, a big hit for the Tuscan. So there is damage to the front of his car, just steering damage. It could have been a lot worse. And we'll just repeat the fact that the gravel trap has done its job in a major way. There's Slater going through on the inside. Zhang turned around, and Tina Houseman, the right rear is collected. In fact, it was Finn Wabelhaus, so Finn going around in 61. Ximo Zhang just ahead, also taken out. Just a few moments away from the start, and this gives us a chance to cap the championship order. Stuttgart 273 points. Will start from pole position again. Arvid Lindblad 263.5, lucky to still be in the race. He will start out of grid 12. He came across the line in position 14. And Ugo Ugachukwu, who crossed the line in P4, will line up back again on grid 3 on 262 points. Matias Ferreira, the Van Amersfoort Racing Team driver from Brazil, in pit lane, started from the back of the pits, or from the back of the pack at the exit of pit lane, caught up to the pack, and was able to catch back up and join the race. But let's hear from Kasper Stuka.
You did a good start, but now you have to remake everything.
Yeah, it was a good start. I think there were lots of cars in the gravel, so the race was stopped. I think we'll get the safety car restart, so yeah, just do the best I can, and yeah, try to stay in P1.
Thank you.
Immense concentration, won't say nerves, from the pole, the Eastern European driver. So many of you watching back in Poland. We say dziękuję for watching, and that's about all we can say in Polish, which, Arabic and Chinese aside, with all due respect, has to be the hardest language to speak. Or maybe Finnish. Let's hear from Tuukka Tappinen, who's down with Laura Kola.
So now it will be difficult to keep the concentration and restart.
Yeah, it will be safety car restart. I will do my best to get Stuka immediately, because it's quite difficult to overtake here in Vallelunga.
Thank you.
Okay, so we are just getting word as Tuukka Tappinen, he's obviously been brought up to date by the Prema team. A full restart from the grid, but the race itself will go green behind the safety car. So officially the race will be underway when they leave the pits in just a moment in the original grid order. Let's hear from the American who won race 1, Ugo Ugachukwu.
Yeah, maybe this is your opportunity to restart in a better way.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We have a safety car restart now, so it'll be important to get a good launch there, and hopefully we can get into P2 straight away and challenge Stuka for the lead.
Thank you.
The McLaren Junior from the United States of America, absolutely unflappable, will not be intimidated. You wouldn't expect anything less from an American. He's extremely confident, supremely confident. He will need to do it again. His third victory of the morning in race 1, a dominant victory as well, just faultless from the second row of the grid. Let's hear from the Italian who made a good start, Brando Badoer.
So Brando, to be a perfectionist, he'll be also be very concentrated in this kind of situation with the red flag. So are you ready to restart?
Yeah, just focused and ready for the restart.
Has got a quick car, Brando Badoer. He was the fastest driver on the circuit this morning. A couple of skirmishes, was off the track at the exit of Semaforo Corner or Tornantino, but came storming home to finish only in P8, but the fastest driver on the circuit for the Dutch team, who won here, or won the championship with Dennis Hauger in 2019, also Ollie Behrman in 2021. We'll start out at grid 4 in just a moment. He has got a fast racing car underneath him, Brando Badoer. Second year in Formula 4, likely to be his penultimate Formula 4 weekend. So Ferreira from Brazil lucky to still be in the race. We'll see what he can do from further back on the grid. Let's go and hear from the Jamaican sensation, Alex Powell, who's with Laura
So this
Cola.
is the second race for you, and now this red flag is not a good situation.
Of course, it's a different situation, of course. Unfortunate for the red flag, but anyway, we see how the restart goes. Just need to stay focused. The speed is quite good. Just need to do my job.
Alex Powell, the kid from the Caribbean, the Mercedes AMG Junior, a tough introduction to car racing at Mugello, the first round of the championship, but a strong qualifying yesterday afternoon. Grid 5 in just a moment. In car 80, a superstar of WSK World Karting since he made his debut at the end of 2017, I want to say, with the baby race team going on to Energy Course. And this past year with the Prema Racing team in Kart Republic, racing in KZ2 and in OK, and of course a stellar career in OK Junior as well. Race winner in the Supermaster Series, the WSK Euro Series, and also in the WSK Final Cup. This is stretching the memory. Second car race weekend, only a handful of days testing before making his debut at Mugello. Despite the rumours going around the paddock, only had a handful of days behind the wheel of a Tartas T421 racing car. Alex Powell, the Jamaican. The Mercedes AMG Junior A super talent to start out of grid 5 as we do set the grid again. Let's hope that that problem the Van Amersfoort racing team were working on in pit lane when the race got underway a few moments ago in the aborted restart has been resolved. Matias Verheera to go back into position to start on the 9th row of the grid alongside the French driver Raphael Narak. Let's go down here from the championship contender now. This is Arvid Lindblad, who's with Laura.
So we saw you very well in the first start of the championship. Now, what is happened?
Oh, we're struggling a little bit. It's been a difficult couple of races. We've had a couple of issues that we haven't been able to get on top of. Yeah, I don't think it's a position we expected to be in. But yeah, it is what it is. We have to make the best of the situation now. Try to the championship is still alive. It's still possible. But yeah, we're just in a really difficult position. We'll try and do as best as we can and maximize the result possible.
Thank you.
The extremely well-spoken, highly professional Red Bull Junior Arvid Lindblad, who is 9.5 points off the championship lead. Lucky to be in the restart. Excuse me. As he came across the line in position 14, was just millimetres away from being caught up with that. A stunning first half of the championship. He, along with Ugo Ugachuku, back from testing FIA Formula 3 in Spain just a few days ago, which gives you a good idea of what the Brit will be doing in 2024. The American, well, stay tuned. Both Arvid and Ugo testing for the Prema team in the near on 400 horsepower FIA Formula 3 cars down in the bottom of Spain at the Jerez circuit. No, it was Barcelona. Either way, it was in Spain. They were testing Formula 3. Remember last year they were racing in WSK World Karting. Ugo also in the British F4 Series. Still waiting for a restart. We did hear from our race director, Mr. Alessandro Ferrari. At the moment, still showing 25 minutes plus 1 lap. Let's hope that is not going to be adjusted because the sun will soon set here at Caput Mundi. Let's just say Rome. The eternal city of it was once the centre of the known universe. The Vallelunga circuit, the Long Valley circuit, north of the Italian capital, still trying to set the grid. Kasper Stuka for sure will start from pole position. If I'm not mistaken, there is Nicola himself. Looks a lot different these days, a lot more casual, a lot more relaxed than he did some 3 decades ago, wearing a Marlboro Ferrari race suit at San Marino or Imola. Looking after the career of his young son, Davide. still showing 25 minutes plus 1 lap. The penultimate race of 2023, if the tension could not get any tighter after this morning's race, after the championship battle came down to 11 points between Stuka 273, Arvid 263.5, who spoke to Laura Kohler just a few moments ago, and Ugo Ugachuka with his 3rd victory of the season, 262 points, 11 points separating the top 3, the tightest championship fight in the 10-year history of this, the world's most competitive single-seater junior motor racing series. And 50 points on offer still here this afternoon, and again for the final race of 2023. Incidentally, the 2024 calendar has been announced provisionally. We get underway on the 5th day of May at Misano before going to Imola on the 2nd of June. Back here at Rome, round 3 in 2024 for the Vallelunga circuit. Then we go to Mugello, Le Castellet, the beautiful Paul Ricard circuit in the south of France. Back to Barcelona for the first time in the Italian Championship's history. Round 6 on the 29th of September next year. And the championship final back at the home of the Italian Grand Prix. It's at Monza, the 27th of October 2024. And with that date, you can almost guarantee it will rain. Let's hope not, though. There is hope. The 7-round series and, of course, the Euro 4 Championship back for the 2nd time, provisionally extending to 4 rounds. Taking in the Red Bull Ring circuit in Austria, the magnificent Red Bull Ring, and also the Hungaroring Budapest, where we raced in the Italian series in 2019 when Dennis Hauger and Gianluca Petrikov went wheel to wheel in the rain. That is provisional. 4 rounds for the Euro 4 Championship in 2024, 7 for the 11th edition of this championship, whose former champions include Lance Stroll back in 2014, Ralph Aron a year later. Then it was the Argentine Marcus Siebert for the Jensen Motorsport team. Marcus Armstrong, the Kiwi, who just took out IndyCar Rookie of the Year with Chip Ganassi Racing. Enzo Fittipaldi in 2018. Dennis Hauger for Van Amersfoort Racing, the Norwegian. Gabriele Mini, Il Siciliano in 2020. What a year that was, winning the title at Imola. Ollie Behrman, who just tested for Ferrari Formula One at Fiorano just a few days ago. He won the title in 2021. There's Dino on the radio, setting the grid. Andrea Antonelli, who almost can wrap up the Formula Regional Championship up in Zandvoort in the Netherlands this weekend. He is the reigning champion, Andrea Antonelli, who took the title in 2022 at Mugello for the Prema Racing team. Just coming up to 25 minutes past 5 here. The sun will soon set. This penultimate Acci Racing weekend for 2023, together with the Italian GT3 Championship and the TCR Italian Championship. Here at the Vallelunga circuit, which was inaugurated back in the late 1950s. In fact, the 12th day of October, so just a few days ago, was the anniversary of the opening of this circuit, which started life, as I said a few moments ago, originally as a horse trotting track, a gravel circuit. Motorcycle racing over the years. So word from race control, we're just a few moments away, finally, from the restart behind the safety car. The team's frantically to the cars. And now you can see the teams converging on the cars. They officially can work on the cars, basically plugging in the battery. A drink for the driver. The race will restart under the safety car conditions. There's the Jensen Motorsport team. The highly ambitious VHM team racing in this Italian Championship. They're in the centre of your screen Here's the team manager, Michaela Leschen, former IndyCar racer, also a competitor in the Renault World Series, that magnificent and sadly missed V8-powered series. Michaela just goes off. Also, one pole position in the IndyCar World Series, back half a decade ago, now doing a sterling job with the PHM racing team. As we get set for a restart, the 1.4-litre turbocharged Abarth engines are fired into live. A restart for race 2, the penultimate race of the most closely fought Italian championship ever. Luca Baldassetti for the AKM Motorsport team. There is the Italian engineer, just with the glasses on. Had so much success engineering Michael Schumacher with the Ferrari team in the early 2000s. Now working with Marco and Kimi Antonelli's AKM Motorsport team. Now with his back to us, there is Luca. The white t-shirt, center of your screen. That is Carol Bash, former World Kart Racing champion, mentoring one of 2 drivers in the championship from China, Ricky Liu. Carol, as cool and calm as you like, is the pole, who took that famous victory at La Conca Muralagese 2015. Also racing in GT3 Super Trofeo Lamborghini. One of the most talented racing drivers in Europe in the past, let's be honest, half-decade ago. Or half-decade or so, I should say. Carol overseeing Ricky Liu. Not a good run for the Chinese driver in qualifying. Looking to end the 2023 Italian Championship on a high. Andrea Giustini to the right of your screen, just walking off now, speaking with Luca Baldassetti, sporting director for the AKM Motorsport team. Luca Badoa, who raced here in Formula 3 back in the early 1990s, father of Brando, Formula 3000 champion in the aforementioned Reynard 92D. Second year for Brando. Luca Badoa with a career in Formula 1, 60-plus Formula 1 starts, mostly with the Minardi team. Who can ever forget when he was just a few laps away from an incredible podium for Minardi at the Nürburgring in 1990-something, I think it was 99, before the gearbox gave up. He was frighteningly quick that day in an underpowered, underfunded Minardi car, dragged it up through the field. Absolute heartbreak when he had to stop on the side of the circuit, closing in on a podium for the Minardi team. His boy Brando starting out of grid 4 in just a moment for the restart for race 2. Thanks for bearing with us as we set the grid here. 25 minutes plus 1 lap, the penultimate race of the season. So a full restart behind the safety car, as you can see the graphic in your bottom left, on the bottom left of your screen. The title to be decided by Kasper Stuga, Arvid Lindblad and Ugo Ugachukwu. Kasper on pole position, Ugo car 3, out of grid 3, but he won this morning. Arvid Lindblad, who was in the grass on the first restart, came across the line in position 14, will start out of grid 12. Here is Andreas Genzer, the Swiss engineering team legend. They won the title with the Argentine. Marcus Siebert in 2016, also racing in the FIA Formula 3 Championship. The Swiss team, the Swiss owner, or owners, with respect to Andreas and Esther Genzer. Multiple cars here. They've already lost one in their Chinese debutant, their Chinese rookie, Shimo Zhang. Ariel Elkin, just superb this morning to P7. Starts a bit further back on the grid now, the 7th row of the grid for Ariel. Behind Arvid Lindblad, alongside Matteo Quintarelli. Akshay Bora is out. So although Ariel Elkin, grid 14 in reality, he'll only have about 9 cars in front of him, because Bora certainly will not make the start. The 3-minute board to go up in 5 seconds from now. So still a few moments before the start. Thanks for bearing with us here as we reset the grid on a beautiful autumnal afternoon north of the Italian capital here at the Long Valley Circuit. The penultimate race, the final round of the 2023 Italian F4 Championship, presented by WSK Promotion together with the Automobile Club of Italy. The tightest championship ever. Just 11 points between the top 3. The fight between the Prema Racing team, who have won this title in 2014 with Lance Stroll, 2015 with Paul Aron, 17 and 18 with Marcus Armstrong and Enzo Fittipaldi, in 2020 and 22 with the Italians, Gabriele Mini and Andrea Antonelli. US Racing, they came position 2 with the Irishman Alex Dunn, who put in some brilliant drives in 2022. The driver from County Offaly on the outskirts of Dublin, vice champion in 2022 for the German US Racing team. And now with their Polish star, a chance to go one better in 2023. Kasper with the championship lead by just 9.5 points over Arvid Lindblad, and Ugo Ugachukwu just 1.5 behind on 262 versus Kasper Stuga on 273. Incidentally, if you've got your phone in your right or left hand, which, let's be honest, most of you probably do watching this, flick over to the Instagram page of the F4 Italian Championship, or Instagram WSK Promotion, particularly on the F4 Italian Championship Instagram page. We conducted a poll and asked you who would win the title, Arvid, Kasper, or the American Ugo, who won race 1 this morning. There is still time to vote. Try and bring you up to date with who's ahead. A few moments ago, it was Kasper Stuga, the fan favourite, the underdog versus the might of the Prema Racing team, who have won this title. Give me a moment. 2, 4, 6 times. No, 7, 6. Or 7? 6 times they've won the title. US Racing trying to take it for the first time. Remember in high school when your teacher said, you won't always have a calculator with you? Yeah, but they didn't know you'd always have an iPhone to do the mathematics or the history books. Now the engines fire into live once again. 1 minute away from the restart here. The penultimate race of the 2023 championship. Great to have your company here this afternoon. The reduced race distance, 25 minutes plus 1 lap. Kasper on pole position, Tuukka Tappinen out of grid 2, Ugo out of 3, Brando out of 4. But it will be a rolling start. The clock, we believe, will start ticking down as soon as they leave pit lane. We'll confirm that for you in a moment. So the green flag is now flying, and yes, that is correct. The clock is ticking down, so the race is now green, as you can see the graphic. the top left of your screen, and we are back racing. The Lamborghini Urus, the safety car here at the Vallelunga circuit, which will also host the Lamborghini World Finals in a few weeks' time. The Lamborghini Hypercar team are testing here just a few days ago with their brand new for 2024 Hypercar when they'll join the World Endurance Championship. So behind the Urus, what a magnificent car this is. Unleash that in a straight line and it would match quite a few GT3 cars which are also racing in the Italian GT3 Championship here this weekend. Costs about the same as well. So Casper in position 1. We are officially racing now. The abandoned car of Tom Callender in the background, well out of harm's way. We believe there will be 2 laps behind the safety car. We'll find out in just a moment. Kasper Stuka aggressively warming the Pirelli tyres, who have been an official partner since the inception of the championship back in 2014. The turbocharged Abarth engine on the Tartar's chassis. There's Ariel Elkin in car 29. A glimpse of his self-designed, very patriotic helmet. In car 29, P7 this morning. Yes, this is the second generation Tartar's T421 car, replacing the original car which served us so well up until this car's introduction last season. Jack Beaton, well, the Queenslander, P5 across the line earlier on, starts out at grid 7, his best qualifying effort of the season. His father, would you believe, Justin, a sometime Formula 4 racer, actually won a Formula 4 Masters race at Eastern Creek back at Sydney, Australia a few weeks ago. In the old generation F4 car, likes to get behind the wheel, does his father Justin. But Jack looking to attack. He was P5 in the first start. He starts out of grid 7. The Queenslander in car 45. The boy from the Gold Coast alongside Zach David, just behind Freddie Slater from the British Midlands, his teammate for the Van Amersfoort racing team, car 77. There's James Agozzi, there's James Wharton, the 2 James, the American, the Australian, and Arvid Lindblad in car 23. So 34 original starters. We believe there'll be 26. So we've lost 8, including Gora, Anurag, Finn Babelhaus. Tina Halsman won't win the women's trophy here this afternoon. Shimo Jung is out, Callender is out, Guido Lucchetti and Diego Della Torre. Second lap behind the safety car. Gianmarco Pradell is being told to start from last position. The Australian has to drop down the field. Didn't have a good run in qualifying. Was to have started on the 10th row of the grid, so we believe an infringement in pit lane as the team work to repair the Australian's car on the podium at Mugello. Gianmarco Pradell, but has to drop to the back of the pack. He will start 26th and last. There's Ricky Liu going through. We mentioned Carol Bash, the pole, the 2015 world champion, who is mentoring the young Chinese driver James Agozzi. Started the year winning the WSK Supermaster Series for the Tony Kart racing team, wrapping up that title at the Cremona circuit with a stunning drive in OK. The driver from Miami, Florida. There is Arvid Lindblad just behind. The sun setting here north of the Italian capital. Matthias Ferreira is in the race. Well, it's cost 8 drivers a chance of racing here this weekend, that incident. But it's been a blessing for the South American, the Alpine F1 Academy junior driver. Matthias Ferreira will take the start from position 17 as that magnificent Lamborghini Urus prepares to pull into pit lane at the end of this lap. The graphic confirming that at the bottom left of your screen. Kasper Stuka will lead the field up to the line. He's a master at the restart. If he decides to go IndyCar racing in the years to come, he will be dynamite on the ovals. Just brilliant. Let's see if he proves that right in just a moment. Off the restart, we'll back the field up to walking pace coming into Roma Curva. The safety car accelerates and Casper backs the field up now. There is Arvid Lindblad, the penultimate race of 2023. Great to have your company here north of the eternal city of Rome. This is Vallelunga, Long Valley. Ferreira just ahead of Spinner. Quintarelli, there's the Huawei-backed car of the Emirati, Rashid Al-Dahedi. Kasper Stuka, he's a master at this. Tuka Tapanen right behind, then Ugo Ugachukwu, car 3, position 3. He won race 1 this morning. The slowest corner on the championship calendar and on the circuit as well. The green flag is flying now. The yellow flag at this part of the circuit, but the track is green on the start-finish straight. They cannot pass until they cross the start-finish line. Casper's gone. Doesn't wait this time. Pulls away, and now the green flag flies around the circuit. Brundle locks up ever so slightly, as does the Jamaican Alex Powell, and we race green finally once again here north of the eternal city of Rome. Casper goes position 1. Tuka Tapanen and Ugo did not get a good start. Tries to fight off Brundle Badoer, Alex Powell, Freddie Slater beaten. David Wharton, Agozzi going on through. There's Jack on the attack. Tries to take the Jamaican, does the Australian. On the outside of the kid from the Caribbean, beaten. Absolutely superb here in Rome. There's his teammate going through. Car 80 is Alex Powell. Car 37 is the championship leader, Kasper Stuka. Great restart from Tuka Tapanen, who closes in on the back of the pole. Ugo locks up, going into Campagnano. The sun setting north of Rome. We are underway for the penultimate race of 2023. A lock up there from Alex Powell, his second ever weekend in car racing. Beaten just behind the kid from the Caribbean. Jack on the attack. But the Jamaican closes the door on the Australian. There's Brundle. P4, the fastest driver on the circuit this morning. Up the inside, Zachary David, the second Australian. That's James Wharton in P9. Then James Agozzi, and a good start from Matteo Quintarelli. Ugo, position 3 for car 3. Now the sun has set north of Rome. They go through the Roma Curva. There's the Jamaican in car 80, the Mercedes AMG Junior fighting off the challenge from the Queenslander, Jack Beaton. They come across the line. Kasper Stuka, 0.6 of a second. This is ominous for the rest of the field. So is that graphic at the bottom of your screen at 35.474. James Agozzi going through. There's the American. Head of Ariel Elk, another good start from the Israeli, now knocking on the door of another top 10 finish. The bottom part of the circuit. Tuka Tapanen looks good, looking for his second victory of 2023. Slater going through in car 77. The Brit is in position 5. Down through the gearbox into Campagnano. Agozzi, Elkin. There's Arvid Lindblad on the inside of Nicola Lacorte. Holds off the Italian for the moment. It is not Arvid trying to pass Nicola, it is Nicola trying to pass the Red Bull Junior, who still is clinging on just to second in the championship. Lacorte, who won at Imola in the opening round of the championship. Beaton has another look at the back of Powell. Watch him into Tornantino, too far back. He fires it down the inside. Brundle takes third place away from Ugo. Beaton does likewise on Powell in the background. Jack on the attack. And the Queenslander moves up a place, but more critically, Brundle is up into third place. Tuka Tapanen on the back of the race leader. The gap was 0.6 of a second. You can see that has been halved. Tapanen, 0.31 of a second. He'll get the slipstream going down through Curvone. Fastest lap of the race with that pass, mind you, from Brundle Badoer into P3, the Italian, into Chimney 1. And the former World Kart Racing champion on the back of Kasper Stuka. Watch this, 2 passes into the same corner. Brundle takes the position away from Ugo Ugachukwu. In fact, apologies, it was Slater behind going ahead of Powell. Beaton has had a moment he's in trouble. So apologies to Freddie, it was the Brit going through. There is car 77, and now the front three fight. Tuukka Tappinen fires it down the inside. They need to be careful. Respect from the Finn and the Pole, who holds on to position 1. But the fastest driver on the circuit is the Italian for Van Amersfoort Racing. Sweeps around the outside. There's the American who won race 1 this morning. Car 3 in position 4. And Fast Freddy also for the VAR team in P5. Kaspar, that gives him a little bit of breathing space. Tuukka Tappinen can't take the title, neither can Brando Badoer. They could care less about the battle for the 2023 championship, which looks like this in the bottom right of your screen, but they can both take a race win. Beaton has not come round. His teammate Slater has capitalised. It was Freddie who made the move to go through on the Jamaican Alex Powell. Then it's David, Wharton, Agozzi, Ariel Elkin now inside the top 10. Watch Brando Badoer on the inside now. Tries the outside into Jiminy 1. Tuukka Tappinen defends from the Italian, who is the quickest car on the circuit. Watch the American. In car 3, fighting for the championship, is Ugo Ugochukwu. And with that battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th as well with Freddie Slater, Kasper Stuka pulls away into Campagnano. Stuka defensive, Tappinen on the inside. Brando says no problem, tries the outside. He was off the road this morning at that very spot, and he almost loses a place to the American as well. Ugochukwu on the outside, the American holds him off, and now the VAR drivers 4 and 5, they touch. Oh, Freddie into the back of Brando. Wow. That was almost the end of the day for both of the cars from Fritz van Amersfoort's team. And now the Jamaican back into this battle. That is Powell in car 8 in position 6. Slater into the back of Badoer. Wow, that was close. Stuka, 0.6 of a second from Tappinen. Ugochukwu, that's Badoer going through. He was on the podium. Zach David is now the fastest driver on track, P7, with a 34.801. Watch this on the exit. He was slow ever so slightly. Was Brando. He had to get out of the throttle. Freddie Slater, the rookie, was not expecting that. Both accelerating hard, and that's what kept them still in the race, the forward momentum. Slater in position 5, Badoer in P4. Ugo, car 3, position 3. Tuukka Tappinen in car 8, the Ferrari Junior in second, but 0.9 of a second behind Kasper Stuka, who is extending his lead in the race and his lead in the championship as well. Elkin in the background ahead of Agozzi, Quintanelli, Lindblad P12. Lindblad at this rate will get 0 points out of the penultimate race in the championship. Kasper Stuka responds with a 34.761. So car 37 starting to come good at the right time of the weekend. There is Brando, still a step off the podium. Kasper, a 134.761. There's the race leader, there's the championship leader. There is the fastest driver on the circuit. Accelerates out of Tornantino through the S's up to the Roma curve. Tappinen, one of 6 race winners in 2023. The Ferrari Junior, the former World Kart Racing champion for the Tony Kart Racing team. In P2, Brando will get the slipstream from Ugo Ugochukwu, who comes very wide, uses every piece of the racetrack and then some as the sun sets here north of the Italian capital. They race down through Curbone. Brando, the Italian's quick. There is still daylight and shadows at the bottom part of the circuit. Chimney 1, Chimney 2, the top part of the track. The southern section towards Rome is completely covered by the grandstand and the nearby hills here. Gianmarco Pradel, well, the Australian had to start way back in last place, but he's just set the fastest lap of the race. That's 34.634 for Gianmarco, who was on the podium at the last round at Mugello. He's behind Aurelio Nobel's Ricky Liu, ahead of Giacomo Petrini. But the US racing driver from Sydney, Australia is the fastest driver on track. Kasper Stuka, 0.95 of a second ahead of Tuukka Tappinen. Brando has a big look at the back of Ugo. Fights the steering wheel, does the Ferrari Junior Tuukka Tappinen. Now accelerates out of Tornantino. Brando's gone through. Brando makes the move and Ugo falls back critically to 4th place. Super quick this weekend is the Italian in car 15 for the Van Amersfoort racing team, who won this title in 2019 with Dennis, in 2021 with Ollie. And now he goes P3, car 3 goes back to P4. Ugo, who won race 1 this morning. All these drivers, these contenders for the championship in particular, saving their best 4 Pirelli tyres for race 3 tomorrow morning. There's Slater, lucky to be in the race. The former world champion after running into the back of his teammate a few moments ago. Speaking into running into the back of other cars, Nicola Lacorte into the back of Matteo Quintarelli. The Emirati-based Italian driver. Nicola, everything locked up for the Imola race winner, and just kisses ever so lightly the back of the Frenchman's car, who's stalled. There is damage. The left rear is broken. He's going nowhere. The gap at the moment is 1.5 seconds as Kasper with a 34.367, but I can promise you it's going to count for nothing. At the moment, a double waved yellow at turn 11. Kasper praying that it stays a local yellow only. Tuukka, Brando and Ugo are hoping the dreaded safety car comes out, but that looks possible. I was going to say unlikely. It is off the racing line. Quintarelli is out. He steps out of the car as well. Out of harm's way. So we'll try and stay green if we can. The leaders have already gone through. This is superb officiating from our race director, Mr. Alessandro Ferrari. No need to throw the safety car if we can. Hold off with just a double waved yellow. No chance of passing. As Matteo with a short walk back to the pits. Both the Emirati and Italian flags on his suit. The R-Race driver is out. We stay green. The gap is now 1.6 seconds. Kasper simply says Shinkoya if we can stay green, because he's pulling away with the fastest lap of the race. It is at a very slow exit. Up into Campagnano. Tuukka Tappinen checks the mirrors. There is Brando. There is Ugo. Fast Freddy in P5. The Jamaican Alex Powell in 6. Zach David, James Wharton, Elkin 9, and James Agozzi inside the top 10 now. Still we stay green. Much to the frustration of Tuukka, Brando and Ugo. Much to the relief, the joy of Kasper, US Racing, and just about everybody watching on live from Poland. 6 minutes 30 plus 1 lap remaining on the clock. In the race here this afternoon, this is where the double waved yellows are. Quintarelli's car has been dragged offline. Top officiating by the team here at Vallelunga. There's 1 or 2 Formula 1 Grand Prix circuits around the world that could take note of that. Just superb officiating. We stay green. Brilliant race direction as well. No need to throw a safety car for the slightest incident. It was at a very low speed corner off the racing line. Quintarelli out of the car, out of harm's way, as is the car, and we race on green, and the gap is now 1.9 seconds. Ugo driving as hard as he possibly can. Car 3, position 4, behind Brando, who's being caught by Freddie Slater. There's the Jamaican. Ahead of Zachary David, James Wharton, Elkin, Agozzi, Lindblad, P11. The track is now clear. Super work from the team here at Vallelunga. So the double waved yellow at turn 11 has been withdrawn. The car well out of harm's way. Quintarelli is out. We're down to 24 runners. And we stay green in the race to the checkered flag. Race to the penultimate race of the weekend and of the 2023 championship. Slater getting close to the back of Ugo Ugachukwu. Almost deja vu. Kart Republic versus Ricky Flynn Motorsport. That's what we've been saying for the past half-decade in WSK World Karting. Now it's the final round of the Italian Formula 4 Championship. Ugo, his second year in car racing. Freddie Slater, his first. Won the Ginetta Junior title back in England a few weeks ago. Second race in the Italian Series, P5 for the former world champion. With the Van Amersfoort Racing Team, he's in P5, not far off the podium. As Casper with a 34.236, 0.3 of a second off his own qualifying time. The pole is flying. 4 minutes plus 1 lap. Slater, there's the graphic at the bottom of your screen, catching the back of Ugo. Good ride from Alex Powell, car 80. The kid from the Caribbean, the Mercedes AMG Junior. A lot expected of Alex in the coming years. A tough introduction to car racing at the Italian Championship. Penultimate round at Mugello 2 weeks ago, but P5 in qualifying for this. The second race of the weekend, running P6 behind his former sparring partners, in fact, all of them. Casper, Tuca, Brando, Ugo, Freddie, and Alex, and Zach David, and James Wharton, and Ariel Elkin, and James Agozzi, Lindblad, Lacorte, Aldeheri, all of them have raced, and most of them have won in WSK World Karting. Casper Stuka for the Ward Racing Team, Tuca Tappanen for the Tony Kart Racing Team, Brando Badoer for Chetila Racing Kart Republic and Parallel Motorsport, Ugo, Euro champ with Kart Republic, Freddie Slater with Ricky Flynn Motorsport, Alex Powell with Energy Force, and then Prema in the Kart Republic team. James Wharton with Paralyn, Ariel Elkin also with the Ward Racing Team, and as we mentioned a few moments ago, James Agozzi starting 2023, taking victory in the WSK Supermaster Series for the Tony Kart Racing Team, the driver from Miami, Florida, currently in position 10. This is the race leader, and that's the gap. 2.9 seconds from Casper back to the Finn, to Tappanen. Into Campagnano, Powell. Car 80 for the Jamaican. Not quite a sensation yet, we'll save that one. P6, but a great second race in Formula 4. A tough end to his kart racing career at Franciacorta a week ago. Brando looking for second place. There's Casper Stuka disappearing out of Tornantino. The little curves as it literally translates. There's the S's. La Roma Curva, the Roman curve, the final corner. About to start lap 14 in a moment. And the penultimate lap of the race, there's the gap, 2.9 seconds from Casper back to Tuka. Stuka crosses the line now, we wait. There's Tuka Tappanen, the gap, listen to this, it's 3.4 seconds. Another half a second, a 34.236 fastest lap. A 34.331 last time for Stuka, and a 34.874 for Tuka Tappanen in second place. There's Brando, car 15. P8 with the fastest lap of the race in race 1 this morning. You can see how dark it is getting as they race up the back straight, uphill into Campagnano. Stuka under brakes down through the gearbox. Tuka Tappanen being hounded by the Italian Brando Badoer. Ugo, car 3 still position 4, and Slater still in P5. The penultimate lap of the race. You can see the clock ticking down, a 25-minute plus 1 lap race. So we believe next time round will be l'ultimo giro, the last lap here at Vallelunga. There's Elkin on the back of Wharton and David in the background. So the last lap next time round. Brando loses a little bit of time that time through the S's. There's Slater behind. Powell, David, Wharton, Elkin, and Agozzi still in P10. Casper now starts his last lap. Looking to extend the lead in the championship. The gap 4 seconds. Stuka will win the penultimate race of the season as he races down through Curvone into Chimney 1 for the final time. The US racing driver will extend his lead in the championship at 34.236. Fastest driver on the circuit. One hand on the trophy. Well, we've still got the final race tomorrow morning, but it's looking good for the German team to join Jensen Motorsport, Van Amersfoort Racing, and the might of the Prema Racing team and become just the 4th team to take the driver's title. It is not over yet though. Ugo in position 4, Lindblad is back in position 11. Kasper Stuka, 6 wins in a row coming into this championship decider. Pole position for race 1, he finished 3rd. Pole position for this slightly shortened race 2, and he's now just got a few hundred meters to race to take his 8th victory of 2023 and virtually put one hand on the driver's title trophy for 2023. Through the S's into La Curva Roma for the final time. We can hear you cheering all the way on in Eastern Europe, live in Poland. Your boy rounds the final corner. Kasper Stuka rounds the final corner. We're getting word from race control. Yes, he is the Italian champion. Kasper Stuka has won it. It's all over. That's the game, folks. Kasper Stuka is the champion. Oh boy, he's done it. Quick mathematics from the team at Race Control. Stuka is the champion. He wins the race. He's 8th of the season. Tappanen 2nd, Baduer 3rd. Ugo in position 4. It's not enough. Lindblad crosses the line outside the points. Kasper Stuka has won the title. Oh boy, huge congratulations to the Polish driver, the German team. They have won the Italian Championship. They came so close with the Irishman in 2022. Alex Dunn finishing as vice champion to Andrea Kimi Antonelli. Kasper Stuka. We have just learned the team at the Automobile Club of Italy, appropriately as we go past the sign, have done the mathematics. He has won the title. He wins the penultimate race of the season as well. Tuukka Tappanen, P2, congratulations to Brando. Makes the podium. Ugo, car 3, just misses it after winning here this morning. Freddie Slater, Alex Powell, Zachary David, James Wharton, Agozzi, and Ariel Elkin again inside the top 10. Arvid Lindblad, the dream is now over. Finishes outside the points. The Red Bull Junior 11th and will not take the title after dominating the first half of the season. Here is confirmation. I was nervous, as I told you, but yes, Kasper Stuka has won the 2023 Italian Championship. Who would have thought going into the summer break? Ugo Ugochukwu moves into 2nd in the series after finishing 3rd in the British Championship in 2022. And Arvid Lindblad, P3. Kasper Stuka, quick mathematics. I'm sure the German team were way ahead of us on that count. Ringraziamo anche Francesco Di Nicola, Matteo Losa, tutti che hanno fatto la matematica. Vi ringrazio. They've won it! They've won it! Just had to thank the team who did the mathematics on my behalf. Kasper is the champion. US Racing have won it as well. There is the champion. We thought it would go down to the final race this morning, but mathematically it is now out of shot. Impossible. Mathematically, it's all over. That's the ball game, folks. Kasper Stuka, race 1. finishes P3, race 2, wins it, his 8th victory of the season. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 10th ever champion of the most competitive junior motor racing series in the world. Kasper Stuka from Poland for the German team is the 2023 champion. P3 in the penultimate race of the series. Another great try from Brando Badoia. Finishes on the podium, and it does the Italian. Second for Tuukka Tappinen, but this is the new champion, Kasper Stuka.
Formula 4 champion. Congratulations.
Thank you. I didn't even know I'm the champion, but yeah, well, that's nice. I didn't even know until now, so yeah, that was great. I mean, yeah, the comeback in the championship after Paul Ricard was just great, so yeah, really happy then. Thank you. That's all I can say. Thank you really much to the team and to everybody supporting.
Thank you.
The highlights of the penultimate race of the season. We got underway. Kasper Stuka from pole position, no problem, but behind him, it all erupted. 8 cars going off into the gravel traps, which did their job. The drivers were fine, and the track limits were found. There was a long delay. The race was reduced slightly down to 25 minutes. Kasper Stuka hounded early on from Tuukka Tappinen and Ugo Ugaciucu, but when he found some momentum and some rhythm, the pole was gone. Brando Badoia, fastest lap after the fastest lap. This was a nice pass to take car 3 for position 3. Ugo back to 4th, and effectively with that move, his championship was over. Tuukka Tappinen was close to the pole, got the slipstream coming down the straight on lap 4 after the restart, but Stuka found the momentum. And as Brando fought with Tuukka Tappinen and Ugo Ugaciucu, he was back to 4th, in fact, Brando. Kasper took the opportunity to simply say Shinkoya, and the pole raced away to win by over 4 seconds. Freddie Slater into the back of his teammate. Brando does come home P3. It was almost the end of the match for both the Italian and English drivers for the Dutch team. Tuukka Tappinen driving as hard as he possibly could. Nicola Lacorte into the back of his half-countryman, Matteo Quintarelli. Excellent officiating from Alessandro Ferrari and the team here at Vallelunga. No safety car, we stayed green. Ugo back into P4, his championship was over as he was hounded by Fast Freddy. Slater from the British Midlands in P5. He did not even know it, I'll be honest, we did not know it in the commentary position. But Kasper Stuka crosses the line to win for the 8th time in 2023. He is the champion. Mr. Giancarlo Minardi presents the 3rd place trophy to the son of the driver who almost took him a podium at Nürburgring in 1999, Brando, then Tuukka. And then Kasper, his 8th victory, he is the new champion. US Racing, the 4th team to win the Italian F4 Championship in its 10-year history. winner tonight. It is for sure Jurek Tina. Kasper Stuka is the champion. He wins the penultimate race of the season, his 8th victory of 2023, and he is the Italian champion for 2023. US Racing take the driver's title. It's all over, but we've got one more race to decide or finish the 2023 championship in style. We'll see you for race 3 at 11 o'clock live from Vallelunga tomorrow morning.